Story 1. The cell that knew my name. The first thing I noticed about cell B12 was that the mirror was scratched from the inside. Not cracked, not dirty, scratched, like someone had spent weeks dragging a fingernail across the back of the metal until the reflection no longer looked smooth. I remember standing there with my plastic mattress under one arm, trying not to look scared, while the officer behind me said, "You'll get used to it." The strange part was that he didn't say it like a warning. He said it like he was apologizing. The cell door slid shut behind me with that heavy sound only a jail door makes, the kind that doesn't just lock you in a room, it locks you inside your own thoughts. I told myself I would be fine. It was only a short stay. A few days, maybe a week. But that first night, at exactly 2:16 in the morning, I woke up to someone whispering my full name through the vent above the toilet. Not my first name, not some nickname, my full name. At first, I thought it was another inmate trying to mess with me. I lay still and pretended to be asleep. Then the whisper came again, softer this time, dragged through the vent with a dry metallic echo. My name. Then silence. The next morning, an older inmate watched me through the narrow window in his door. During movement, he approached me near the phones. "B12?" he asked. I nodded. He sighed heavily. "Don't answer anything after lights out." I asked him what he meant. "Doesn't matter what voice it uses," he said. "Doesn't matter who it sounds like. Don't answer." That warning stayed with me all day. The second night, at exactly 2:16, the lights flickered once. Then I heard 3 slow taps from the wall behind me. Tap, tap, tap. Pause. Tap, tap, tap. A voice drifted through the vent. "You're in my bed." The voice wasn't angry. That was the worst part. It sounded tired, like it had been saying those same words for years. Then the mirror ticked softly. Once, twice, 3 times. I looked toward it. For a brief second, my reflection moved without me. I remained still. The reflection turned its head. I shut my eyes immediately and didn't open them until morning. Story 2. The prisoner in the empty cell. By the 3rd day, I started asking questions. Not directly. You don't walk around a jail telling people your cell is haunted. The older inmate only laughed when I asked about B12. "Everybody stays there once," he said. Later that day, another inmate asked if I had heard the count. I didn't know what he meant. "You will," he replied. That evening, after official count ended, I heard another one begin. A low voice somewhere in the hallway. "B8, B9, B10. The voice paused. "B11? Then it reached my cell. "B12. The voice stopped. A few seconds later, it whispered, "Occupied." The word hung in the air. From that night forward, strange things happened constantly. I heard breathing from the empty top bunk. I heard movement near the sink. I heard footsteps that never matched anyone walking the tier. The room felt less like a cell and more like a place that remembered people. On the 4th day, I found writing carved underneath the lower bunk. The same sentence repeated in different handwriting. "Don't let it count you twice." I kept seeing it everywhere after that. The older inmate finally explained a little more. "When it says your name, don't speak. When it says your number, don't move. When it says occupied, pray it moves on. I asked what happened if it didn't. He refused to answer. That night, the voice through the vent began listing details about my life. My name, my birthday, the town where I grew up, then my mother's name. I almost answered. I nearly forgot the warning, but I stayed silent. The voice waited. Then, in a voice identical to my own, it whispered, "I'm still here." Moments later, the mattress on the top bunk sank under invisible weight. Someone, or something, had climbed onto it. I could hear slow breathing directly above me. I never looked up. When morning came, the bunk was empty, but someone had traced a message through the dust. B12 is occupied. That was the day I realized the prisoner everyone feared wasn't locked behind a door. It was already inside the cell. Story 3, The Count After Lights Out. I begged to be moved. The officers ignored me. One of them simply said, "You got 2 more nights. Don't make problems." That was when I realized they already knew something was wrong with B12. Later that day, the older inmate disappeared. Nobody would tell me where he went. The only clue was a message scratched near the bottom of his old cell door. It counted me wrong. That night, another inmate approached me during dinner. When the lights flickered twice, he whispered, "Get off the bed." I asked why. He shook his head. "Just do it." Lights out came. At 2:16, the lights flickered once. Then they flickered again. I immediately stepped away from the bunk. For several seconds, nothing happened. Then the mattress slowly compressed under invisible weight, like someone had sat down. The blanket shifted. A shape formed beneath the fabric. A voice came from the bed. "You moved." I stayed silent. "That means you heard." Then the second count began. B8, B9, B10, B11. The voice stopped outside my door. B12. The shape on the mattress whispered, "Occupied." The hallway voice answered, twice. Every light in the jail went out. Men began shouting, officers yelled, doors rattled. But inside B12, there was absolute silence. Then the mirror started scratching from the inside. Slowly, deliberately, I turned toward it. For a brief moment, I saw another face standing behind my reflection. Not monstrous, not distorted, just patient, waiting. Its mouth moved. The voice came through the vent. "Now you count." The next thing I remember was officers dragging me from the cell. By morning, my release paperwork had suddenly been approved. I left the jail and never returned. Months later, a letter arrived at my apartment. No return address. Inside was an old intake form belonging to another inmate. Cell assignment, B12. At the bottom of the page, someone had written a single sentence in pencil. "You were not the first one it counted twice." I moved soon after, changed my number, stopped telling the story. But some nights, when everything is quiet, I wake up at exactly 2:16 in the morning. 3 slow taps come from somewhere inside the wall. Tap, tap, tap. Pause. Tap, tap, tap. I never answer. I never look toward the mirror. Because I learned something in that jail that I was never supposed to know. Some prisons don't release everyone. Some cells remember you. And sometimes, even after you walk out, something inside is still counting.